Alright, so... Alright. So hey guys, and welcome to the second part of oMni-Man versus Bardock. Well, that was a pretty solid analysis. Like, we got to see oMni-Man's a further story into what oMni-Man was. And yeah, it was kind of cool, like cooler. Like, they actually got through like past season 2, and they actually go on further into the comics. So now for I don't know what they're gonna do for Bardock. I know they're gonna give him the ape form. I don't know if they're gonna give him the Super Saiyan 1 form, because he didn't use it in the Super Saiyan, in the Dragon Ball Super Broly, or the special that came out in like 1990. So I guess we're gonna have to see what they're gonna have to give him. We'll see.
In the far reaches of the cosmos laid a world with a people like no other, born and raised to do just
Saiyans.
One thing.
That's Vegeta when he looks younger.
The Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by
King Vegeta, and his son is literally Prince Vegeta.
Exactly. Their pride
I don't know
blinded them
why.
to the truth of their
I know I'm a Dragon Ball fan,
doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock! He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude,
he's a badass,
and if he goes apeshit, you're totally screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed.
And guess what? He's father of
He is
Goku.
Goku's dead
Wow,
father.
I never would have guessed.
Right? What a curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets,
Bardock,
they wiped
30
out
years
every living
younger
thing,
than oMni-Man.
leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away.
Bardock
Bardock was an asshole.
Frieza,
well, until he wasn't.
Bardock's story has evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from,
including one where he's a brilliant scientist.
but only one is considered officially canon.
Oh, they're using
Bardock's
Dragon Ball
demeanor
Super,
began to
nice.
shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Gine, and had two sons, Raditz and Kakarot.
No, Bardock didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. But that iconic red headband of his, it's stained with the blood of his fallen friends.
That's what
Bardock could fly, move faster than light, and was naturally adept in using his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw you nature, Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit cannon is like a ki-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punching knights
I don't know if they're gonna give him the Super Saiyan form,
rebellion
but I know they're
spear
gonna give him
basically
his
turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next guy. All in a day's work for a Saiyan.
Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Gine, in fact being one of few Saiyans of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key to their planetary devastation.
Big Monkey!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. Quick! Someone call Yajirobe!
While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth. Prince Vegeta's control is so precise he can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full tilt gorilla. The Saiyan strategy is pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Despite being low-class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Over 9,000.
Yeah, we know power levels are kind of janky. Nobody can agree on what the number really means.
Outside of his fight with Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon. But we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level?
Over 9,000!
8,000!
Over 8,000,
the dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the the cold hard
I
truth,
still love
damn
that
it.
meme.
According to this movie pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000.
Over 9,000.
This lines up with that previous
over
reading
8,000,
and
yeah.
puts him on par with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but
Damn.
this gives us a clear window.
Okay.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star,
Okay,
which
how-
is impressive
fast is
considering
that?
the
How fast
speed
is that?
involved.
The planet Namek is
Okay,
outside
calculate
Earth's
that,
quadrant of the
calculate it,
universe,
calculate
and
it.
it took his ship 6 days to make the journey.
days, okay.
Traveling a quarter of the universe's
How fast, how
diameter
fast, how
would put
fast
the
is
ship
that?
over 9.5 trillion times the
Oh,
speed
9
of light.
trillion
And
times.
Goku would have had to
That's
keep up
faster,
with
that's
that kind of
faster.
speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes
Some of the
sense, given
strongest
far
Saiyans
weaker
of all
characters
time.
could
How
reach the
about
moon in a
Saiyans?
fraction of a
Defeated
second.
Goku,
Should be
took
trivial
King
enough for
Ghidorah, chilled him
Bardock.
All
gas.
this
Yep.
speed and power
I
meant
knew
when
they were gonna
Bardock and his
bring up
team
the
assaulted the
Gas
planet
and Dragon
Cereal,
Super,
they
yep.
went, cheerio!
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating its people, until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child.
Yeah.
Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity. But Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the 2, and even pushed himself far past his limits to
Peter and
protect them
Dash
from his
couldn't
own
hold it.
Frieza Force allies,
I can't
who
read all
taunted that
that.
Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans'
Sometimes
future.
This
Pop-ups
moment
don't
changed Bardock, making him
go
more
back too
appreciative
fast.
of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all the Saiyans were called back to planet Vegeta for mysterious reasons, he had a hunch something was up. So, before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with the tyrant, he sent his youngest
He
kid
sent
away
his
for
son to
protection.
Earth, yep.
A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey, that's what good parents do.
Yeah.
A choice that would have a greater significance than Bardock could ever
Yeah,
imagine.
he literally
And then
died
Dildo
from
Dickhead
Frieza's
blew them
hands.
all up and he died.
Yeah.
Or did he? Bardock got killed
Oh,
so
right.
freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these 2 who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon,
That's not
whatever.
canon,
He
right.
survived. And when he realized what happened, he got so unbelievably
Oh,
pissed
they're
off,
giving
he
him the
went
Super Saiyan form. I was not. I
What?
wasn't.
All right,
I'm
this
sure
is
that's
very
what
much
they
an
did.
alternate universe what-if scenario, and it is jarring. But
True.
think about it. The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone.
No, it's
It
not.
requires dedication, introspection,
Right. Uh-huh.
victory, failure, love, and loss. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he
this is
feared
so-
the
such a
possibility
wholesome
of the Super
episode
Saiyan,
right now.
a Saiyan with power that could rival his own. But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to
Yep.
achieve the form. Perhaps
It takes
if Frieza
training
had
and,
hesitated,
like, all
even
that
for a
stuff to
moment,
go
his
beyond.
fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn, pour one out for Bardock, who figured
Yeah,
out how
pour
to
one
be
out
the
for
truest
Bardock.
Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
Yes, he would. Kakarot would be proud. Yeah, again, pour one up for Bardock, and Godspeed, Omni-Man. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna make my prediction in the next part, so see y'all in the next part.